Yo, it's Elliot at Pharaoh's Lead Farm. So let's talk suppressors, specifically this Odin Works, hopefully you can see that, Enduro Suppressor. So I already did a ton of shooting with this thing. It's awesome. I think it's one of the most underrated suppressors on the market right now. So hopefully in the shooting, you'll see I shoot it through plenty of guns and it just does fantastic. So it'll be fairly dirty for this little exercise here, but just kind of want to show you guys what you get, what comes in the box, and some of the specs on the suppressor. So I know this is going to sound weird. I don't really get wrapped around the decibels. One, I think that all the companies lie about their decibels. And two, they just sound completely different on camera or wherever they're shooting at different altitude than what you're probably seeing in real life. So I just go by my feel and a lot of experience shooting with suppressors. We sell, Pharaoh's Lead Farm, more suppressors than anybody in the state of Iowa does. So I speak with some experience, take it for what it's worth. So I don't get really wrapped around the actual numbers, but I'm here to tell you that this thing is quiet. Moving on, what you get in the box is, here's the suppressor and its full length configuration here. You'll get a wrench to take apart all your little baffles and whatnot, and then you'll get another direct thread adapter. So this one here is 5/8 by 24. Let's see if I can kind of move you guys with me here. So this guy here is 5/8 by 24. This guy here is 1/2 by 28. And then it's in its full length configuration right now, which will in theory be as quiet as it gets. But I can remove every baffle as much as I want. So if I want to take 2 baffles out here, I just unscrew it and I'm going to take the end cap off. So this dude here is a 9mm end cap. I can use my wrench. I don't know if you can see that, but it's got little nipples on here. Line up the nipples and I can unscrew my end cap. So I'll take off those 2 baffles and I can put it on here, make it even shorter, or I can take out all of the baffles. So there's 5. I still have a blast can and a baffle inside here. Put this dude on the front and I made it into this little short guy suppressor right there. Alright, hopefully you can see that okay. I don't know. Maybe sorta. You can also buy different end caps for these guys. So if you wanted to make it even quieter, you could get the 30 caliber one of these or a 5.56 one. But in my experience, they don't actually make it that much quieter going with the different end cap. So it's something to think about. I'll put this back into its full configuration. So just throw all the baffles on there, throw my end cap back on, get it lined up, and then I'll use the wrench. And if they get stuck, you can see how the wrench here has all the geared teeth that just slides over whatever baffle you want to take off. And then this is for the actual direct thread mount in the back. Boom. And then this little nipples is for the end cap. So we'll screw the end cap back on. In the video, I actually didn't do a ton of shooting with the direct thread mount. So I used a quick detach mount. Odin Works makes quick detach mounts as well. Almost everybody does. But the nice thing about theirs is they kind of everybody's moving to that sort of universal thread diameter in here, which I'm not sure off the top of my head. I want to say it's like 1 3/8, let's say. But it accepts a lot of the common adapters. So what I use is this Yankee Hill quick detach adapter. So I don't know if you see this guy. We do like our Yankee Hill quick detach, mostly because it's just super simple. You can't screw these up. So this guy screws in here. Let's see if you can see this okay. So I'm just going to screw that in to the back of the can, and now it's set up to use all of Yankee Hill's muzzle devices. So so here's a 3-chamber muzzle brake here. They sell flash hiders as well. But now that I have this locked in there, you can just use your wrench, lock it in, pretend this guy's on your gun. Now my whole suppressor is just going to be a quick detach. And away I go. Which is what we shoot later on in the video, you'll see. Mostly I'm using these quick detach. So it's pretty clever, and then you're just going to get as many of the actual, you know, muzzle devices. You probably have these laying around if you're a suppressor guy, and put them on whatever guns you want, and away you go. It's a full auto rated can. You know, you can shoot 338 Lapua through this thing, for crying out loud. I shot it up to 308 today and some 7.62 by 39 short barrel 5.56 guns as well. So here, let me take off the quick detach adapter, and I also, for kind of a parlor trick, I screwed on Yankee Hill's booster assembly, which I don't know why this is not focusing, but focus. You can see this nasty dude here. We'll brighten it up just a little bit. Wang, 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 wang. And then it's a silencer coat piston assembly that's 1/2 by 28, and I shot it on a CZ75. So same thing, since it's kind of the native thread, I'm just gonna line it up, screw it in, and now it's a booster with a spring, so I can actually run it on a handgun as much as I want. So pretty clever, all the way up to 9mm. I did shoot some 38 special through here, and some 9mm, so we kind of did them both that way. But anyway, I don't like to hear myself talk. I don't like reviews where a guy talks about it and compares it to every other suppressor and how he did all this combat time in Ukraine shooting Russians. So we'll kind of end this part of the video here, and we'll just go right off to shooting, which was the fun part. But anyway, in review, Odin Works Enduro Suppressor. This thing is the cat's ass. It shoots fantastically quiet, screws onto about everything I want to screw it on, plenty straight threads, and it's full auto rated, which we shoot it on a full auto as well, so you can see what that's all about. Sorry for killing you guys with the overexposure here, but it is what it is. All right, that is all. Oh yeah, and these things I retail for around 700 bucks, so it's not like they're a crazy expensive suppressor for what you're getting, because you're going to pay the ATF your $200 blood money. You might as well get a can that will do multiple firearms, which this guy definitely will do multiple firearms. You will have to buy some adapters, but right out of the box it comes with 2 of the most common American direct thread adapters with the cost of the suppressor. So pretty neat. Anyway, that is all. Hopefully you guys can get some good info out of this. Carry on. Alright, so it's probably easiest just to stitch all these videos together. So here's the Odin Works Enduro Suppressor in its full length configuration, direct thread to a 9mm AR, shooting 147 grain subsonic ammo. So, alright, I say. It's crazy quiet. Alright, so anyway, just really quiet. So now I'll knock off a few baffles and we'll try that. Alright, so here it is with just 2 baffles. So I removed 3 baffles, just like so. Replace the end cap on there. Still direct thread to a 9mm AR. This is an 11-inch barrel, so let's see how it sounds now. Ready, steady, spaghetti. It's ridiculously quiet still, even in its short configuration. So, anyway, moving on. Next up is this little 300 Barack Obama here. So this is an 8.5-inch barrel, and I'm going to shoot some of our 208 grain subsonics here. But the cool trick here is now I've thrown on the Yankee Hill quick detach which is pretty sweet. Out of all of them, they're probably the best quick detach system going. So right here, thanks to it having that kind of bigger native thread that seems to be more of a standard these days, I'm just gonna screw it on like so. It ratchets on and away we go. So, ready, steady, spaghetti. That's ridiculously quiet. And now I can just unthread it, quick detach. Super simple, and that's its full configuration. All right, let's move on to the next gun. All right, next up, here is a 5.56 10.5 inch gun. And since I've put the Yankee Hill quick detach adapter on it, all my muzzle devices on all my personal guns use that. So I just screw it on, ratchet it. It's still that same 9mm end cap. I could put a 30 or a 5.56 one on, but it's not that much quieter. And I took off 4 baffles, so makes it quite a bit shorter. And in all honesty, 5.56 on a 10.5 is not that quiet in the first place, even with the best suppressor. So I might as well keep it short, and at least this way I'm not blowing out my eardrums, and my buddy's next to me, you know, we're gonna go shoot some Russians or something. Anyway, here we go. I mean, still quiet, it's really robust, it's full auto rated. Let's give that a shot. Yeah, still in one piece, works like a champ. And like I said, 5.56 on a short barrel like this definitely has a ton of pressure in it. So if it's taking that, you know it's going to take the longer 308s, the longer barrel 300 Win Mag. Like I said, you can put this on a ton of shit. So we'll just keep moving on. I'll throw them on a few more, some different mounts, and see how it goes. All right, next up to bat here, I went back to the full configuration on this 20-inch SDM rifle. So it's a 5.56 as well, shooting 77 grain Match King ammo, same Enduro suppressor, just ratchets on like so, and we'll kind of give it a shot. I went back to the full configuration because there's not a ton of need now with me carrying around a rifle. I don't really care if it's that short, so we might as well make it as quiet as possible. Here we go. Yoink. Yeah, I mean that still would not be bad without ear pro. So here we go. Yeah, so this is kind of the first configuration that I would shoot out in the open, as long as I'm not around a ton of buildings, in a full power 5.56. The 10.5 inch is still really snappy. There's no suppressor that's going to calm that down. But this guy, yeah, is crazy quiet on a 5.56 full length rifle. Pretty sweet. Okay, moving on. All right, moving on. So now we have it. Same Odin Enduro on a Zastava M70 7.62 by 39. So I just ran a regular ass thread adapter on here. It comes with a 5/8 by 24 direct thread. So I screwed that guy on. Still with a 9mm end cap. Hopefully you can see that. And then I sucked off some baffles because AKs are pretty terrible to suppress. So not a lot of point in having a big long one on here. But anyway, I have some just regular ass 124 grain S&B full metal jacket, nothing fancy. And then the last 3 I have some subsonics in there, which they don't cycle great, but the nice thing is if I leave this, you know, it's a 9mm can, I don't have a ton of back pressure, which just kills these AKs when they're suppressed. So a lot of that ends up going out the suppressor or on the end of the suppressor, which makes life a little easier to shoot. So All right, ready, set, spaghetti. I mean, it's actually not bad. And I hate AKs, which most of you people know. Anyway, whew, they'll slap you on the old trigger finger, but to be expected. All right, let's see where we're at. All right, I got two more supersonics. And now this is a subsonic, so here we go. Yeah, subsonic-ish. Pretty quiet, surprised it ran it. But anyway, so it shoots, no damage, no harm, no foul on a 7.62 by 39. This is a 16-inch gun. Okay, still going. Here's the same Enduro Odin Works Suppressor on now a 308. So here we go. I went back to the Yankee Hill quick detach. I'm just gonna ratchet it on there like so. Same 9mm end cap. And then I am shooting just some full house M80 ball. I have 3 of those, 147 grain. And then I think the last 2 are subsonic. So we'll see how it sounds. Ready, steady, spaghetti. Alright, let's see how it goes. That's hilarious. Those subsonics are just ridiculously quiet. Yeah, I could do bad things with this rifle, I'm telling you what. Jeez. That is just nothing. Anyway, there it is. 308 right there with the Odin Works Enduro. And it's the quick detach. Like I said, I have it set up here. Wink. Right back on. Perfect. But I mean, this isn't their quick detach. This is Yankee Hill's quick detach adapter. So I run these just because it's what I have, and I think they're the best. But you can use any of those, kind of that big, I don't know if it's 1 3/8 or what it is, thread, because it's native to the suppressor itself. So, or you could direct thread it. But anyway, pretty cool. Moving on. All right, next up here, this is pretty light work for the Enduro can, but same full configuration, 9mm end cap. Just because it was stuck onto the gun, they come off. This is the Silencer Co. 5/8 by 24 direct thread right there, which is nice because they're all kind of, like I said, getting to be a little universal. And this is a Henry X rifle in 38 special. All right, so let's do a little shooting. It's quiet, almost as quiet as the 9mm. Yep. I mean, this is a very dumb gun, but if you're going to suppress it, this thing is as quiet as it gets on a 38 special. Pretty sweet. All right, so for the last kind of parlor trick here for the Odin Works Enduro is I'm going to shoot it on a 9mm pistola. This guy here is a CZ75 S Penis 01, shooting 147 grain subsonic full metal jacket ammo. Made right here by Pharaoh's Lead Farm. I don't know what to say. But anyway, I'm running the Yankee Hill booster assembly with a Silencer Co. 1/2 by 28 piston in here. So it's cool that kind of everybody's on board with keeping these the same, la-di-da-di everybody. So let's see, you ready? No ear pro, this thing's crazy. Oh, and I'm shooting this one wet. So what I mean by that is, it's, I just dumped a little bit of water down there. So you probably don't want to do that. It does make it quieter, and it only lasts for a few shots, but you'll get the idea. Here we go. It's like, I mean, it's kind of Hollywood quiet. I don't know. I really do like shooting them wet, but like I said, it'll just get louder as it dries out. So yeah, works like a champ. Anyway, pretty simple. Then just on threads like so. Yoink! And that's the Yankee Hill piston assembly with the Odin, with only 3 baffles on it. So I will probably do a different video of a conclusion, but I think that's the last gun I'm going to shoot with this suppressor. Highly recommend it. Like I said, I think this is probably one of the most underrated cans on the market right now. It is super, super, super quiet, but I like it. They're affordable. That is all. Carry on.